everyone, welcome to Home Cook School. Happy Easter if you're watching this on Easter Sunday. I'm just getting ready to have a family dinner, and you may have watched yesterday I was preparing the lamb to be roasted for today. So yesterday in the video I talked about seasoning it. We inserted little slices of garlic into the lamb and also put little sprigs of fresh rosemary into the little holes, and we just marinated the lamb overnight. And then I said today I would come back and just show you how I finished the lamb off. Yesterday I also mentioned you could do this with a leg of lamb, which is what I'm doing, but you can also do it with a half leg if you're not feeding as many people, or if you want to do individual portions you could do it with like lamb shanks, which sometimes you need to go to the butcher to get them. You don't always get them in the supermarket, but you'll certainly get legs of lamb and half legs at this time of year, no problem, in the supermarket. So I've started already. So I had my oven on at 200 degrees Celsius, so really hot. And you may remember if you watched yesterday I also said you could cook this in the oven or on the hob, so I'm going to just talk you through both methods. I have to say before I start properly that it is family time, so there are children running about and my dad's just about due to appear, so apologies if there are any interruptions. It's just a busy day, busy house. So I preheated the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, and I put in a big roasting tray. I'm just going to with some really generous glugs of olive oil in the bottom of it. And you can see I put my lamb in. Now you see the kind of gravy that's started to form, that's actually was added in later. So I started off by just heating my olive oil in the roasting tray. Make sure your oil's nice and hot and your oven's at the correct temperature, and then fire your lamb, which we already marinated, straight in to the olive oil, and it will really hiss and sizzle and so on. And basically what you want to do is sear the lamb, so that takes about half an hour. So you want to start getting this kind of caramelised colour on the skin of the lamb. So you really want the oven to be roasting hot. Half an hour. I turned mine about halfway through, so it was maybe actually about 20 minutes in I turned my lamb, so that I got a nice kind of golden brown colour on both sides. And then I turned the temperature in my oven down, and I added in, I used Malbec just because we like to drink it, but I mean most sort of Italian reds would be great. This is from Argentina. Really, you know, most red wines are fine as long as you don't go for one of the really sugary fruity wines, but any kind of nicer wine will do. And I poured in just over half a bottle, and that was purely because that's quite a big piece of lamb. And then what I did was just turn down to 150 degrees, and I covered the lamb in foil. And so what happens then is it's kind of sears it round the outside, which gives a nice caramelised flavour around the outside, but then by putting all the liquid in and the lamb sitting in the liquid and then putting the foil over it, it kind of steams the lamb, so it is really moist and succulent and it won't dry out. Hi Amara, I can see you've just joined. So the only thing I need to do now is to add in the olives. So for this I use black pitted olives. I just use a jar of them, and I don't know why, I prefer them in the brine. I find that sometimes olives can be a bit too salty, and it can, you know, some people don't like them for that reason, and I find the pitted ones in brine are a little bit creamier and oilier in texture, so I just think they work a bit milder, and my kids actually eat them, which is quite surprising, I think, because they're not too salty. So I'm just putting one jar in. It's a 330 gram jar, but obviously you drain the liquid out of them so they'll be lighter. So just pour the brine down the sink. If I was doing this for a bigger family, there's going to be 3 adults and 2 kids eating today, but if there was going to be more people, then I'd put a couple of jars of olives in, because everybody likes to have those. So this lamb has been or it will be in total for about 4 hours. So the first half hour really hot, then turning it down to 150, and so it's been in for quite a while now. So this is the kind of last hour of cooking. So it's been in quite a long time. So what I'm going to do is just turn my lamb, and you'll see that the lamb actually stains, the red wine stains the lamb. Let me just flip this camera around so you can see. So I've just turned it round, and I'm just pouring in the pitted back black olives. Okay. And what I'm going to do is just cover it back in the foil, and it's just going to go back into the oven for another kind of final hour. So you don't need to put the olives in right at the beginning, okay, because they obviously take quite a bit of cooking. Being in there for 4 hours would probably be too long for them. So just put them in towards the end. What I'll do is I'll take some photos when it comes out rather than doing another live video, so that you can see the end product. But basically, you'll see that, for example, here, the it goes there and starts to fall off the bone. If you were doing it on the hob, what I would say is, if you had smaller pieces of lamb, like a half leg or a lamb shank, all you need to do is sear it on the hob in the olive oil in the same way. It won't take half an hour, it will be a lot quicker. Get the nice caramelised brown colour on the lamb, and then just pour in your wine in a big pot, big stock pot or something. Stick the lid on, and again that's like the foil, it helps to steam the lamb. And then again, just the last hour, you shove in the olives. Obviously the cooking time is going to vary depending on the kind of piece of lamb. So basically it's hot and fast at the beginning, and then a lower heat thereafter. Now I'm going to serve this with kind of Italian style roast potatoes with garlic and rosemary, and I also had some dauphinoise or creamed dauphinoise potatoes that were in the freezer, so I'm going to put them on as well, and just some griddled asparagus. But what is really nice, and it was the original way that this recipe was taught to me, was just to simply put in some nice new potatoes, and you can swirl them around in that wine gravy that you've made there. Just obviously, it's nice served on a great big platter. It's not always the most beautiful dish in the world, because the lamb starts to fall off the bone and everything like that. It's not always the most beautiful, but it tastes excellent. So some nice new potatoes or mashed potatoes is really nice to mop up the gravy. Some nice like fine green beans or something like that's nice as well. So it doesn't need to be anything fancy, just like simple sides. And I promise you the lamb will be gone, everybody will eat it all and there'll be none left. So I hope you have a lovely Easter. I hope that's been interesting for you. If there is anything that you'd like to ask about the dish, feel free to drop me a message on Facebook. If you're interested, I do one-to-one and small group cooking lessons here at my own home in Maybole, South Ayrshire, and I also cover the whole of Ayrshire, and I go out to other people's homes and deliver one-to-one and small group lessons there. So can personalise the menu to what your own interests are, what you want to learn. So certainly feel free to look at my website, www.homecookschool.com, or there's plenty of information on Facebook. Just drop me a message if you're interested. I hope you have a lovely Easter and eat lots of chocolate and enjoy yourselves, and definitely try out the lamb at some point and send me a message or a photo if you do. It'd be great to see your efforts. That'd be brilliant. So all the best and have a lovely day. Bye.